The Blackmagic Pocket 4K, ooh, what a camera. You are now looking at me through the eyes of the Blackmagic 4K Pocket with the Olympus 7.2 14mm lens. It's not a bad picture, is it? For the rest of this video, I'm just gonna refer to it as the Pocket 4K. Now, I've had the Pocket 4K for over 2 weeks, and I've used it on a paid gig, and I have to say I love this thing. This camera delivers oomph, oomph, oomph. Hey, it's John Bear, so happy to see your beautiful face, and today I'm gonna cover all the reasons why I bought this 2018 camera in 2020. Let's get into it. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm John Bear, and I'm on a journey to become a master cinematographer. So if that's something you're into, then hit that subscribe button. And also, you might consider hitting that bell. It's like a virtual high five. Alright, so I decided the best way to give you all the reasons why I love this camera and why I decided to get it in 2020 is to deliver the information through questions, sort of like a Q&A way. Does that make sense? Why didn't you get the Pocket 6K? Isn't it better than the Pocket 4K? Yes and no. There are 3 reasons here why I decided to get the Pocket 4K over the Pocket 6K. First of all, if you have the Pocket 6K, if you want to shoot Blackmagic RAW, then you're forced to shoot 6K, otherwise you're gonna get a crop. Basically, when you're shooting RAW, you're using the whole sensor size of the camera. So if you want to shoot in 4K on a 6K sensor, you know, you're getting a smaller output. Honestly, I don't think I need 6K files all the time. Besides, it's gonna be a lot of storage space as well. The second reason is the lens mount. Now, if you've been following me, you know that my favorite camera of all time is the Panasonic GH5, and I've been using this for my whole YouTube career. Now, this camera uses a Micro Four Thirds lens mount, which the Pocket 4K also does. So most of these lenses in the back here that you can see, they're Micro Four Thirds lenses, or EF lenses, which we'll get into that. In fact, we're gonna get into it right now. So with the Pocket's 6K, you use EF lenses, right? So on the Pocket 4K, you can use EF lenses as well, but when you're using a speed booster. Let me show you. Right here, I have the Sigma 18-35, one of my favorite lenses, probably my favorite lens of all time, de facto. It's amazing, and I've made videos about it before. So what you see right here is a viltrox speed booster. Now, pop it off, take a look. That's what it looks like. So basically what the speed booster does is that it takes EF glass, Canon glass, and makes it adapted to the Micro Four Thirds sensor. But not only that, this glass element here, it's like a magnifying glass. The magnifying glass in here gives you a wider focal range. So this 18-35 lens will give me actually a wider image on the Pocket 4K with an adapter than it would on a Pocket 6K without an adapter. Pretty crazy. Not only that, the magnifying element in this speed booster also makes the lens faster. It's like magic. So this f1.8 lens can go all the way to f1.2, which just blows my mind. So basically, this speed booster right here makes all the arguments to get a Pocket 6K kind of invalid. Like, the Pocket 4K just is better than the 6K if you're using a speed booster. In my humble opinion, that is. Just pop it back on. So to summarize, with a speed booster, you get wider focal range and you're getting faster apertures. So it's just a win-win all around. And then the fourth reason is the price. So the Pocket 4K is like $1,300, while the 6K is closer to $2,000. I'm not sure exactly what the price is. But anyway, as I've covered now, that the 6K actually doesn't suit my needs at all, but the 4K suits my needs perfectly. So I don't see an argument to getting the Pocket 6K unless you want to shoot 6K video files specifically, which I'm not really into. Question number 2. Why didn't you get something more cutting edge, like the Sony a7S III? So for this question, I have another 3 reasons to give you. Reason number 1 is BRAW. For those of you who don't know, BRAW is Blackmagic RAW. It's the file format that this camera shoots in. And as you might imagine, only the Blackmagic can shoot in Blackmagic RAW. Makes sense. And trust me, once you've tried shooting in BRAW, you're never gonna go back. I've seen the lights. Simply put, editing in Blackmagic RAW is just a joy. This file is so easy to scrub on your timeline, you don't have to create any proxy files whatsoever. Simply put, Blackmagic RAW or BRAW is insanely fast. I can even edit 4K BRAW files on my old laptop from 2015. And since it's a RAW format, I can change the ISO and camera settings in post. It just blows my mind. It's like I can film with the Pocket 4K and just like not know what I'm doing with it and then just fix the stuff in post. It's unbelievable. So that's the first and main reason to shoot in Blackmagic RAW. It's just amazing. The second reason I didn't get a more cutting-edge camera is I wanted a proper cinema camera. While I'm sure that tons of people will argue that the Sony a7S III it can be a cinema camera if you wanted to, the fact of the matter is it's a hybrid camera. It is a hybrid camera. It shoots stills, it shoots video, it does all of them really well, but I want a proper cinema camera. And I already have a hybrid camera that does all those things really well, the GH5. This camera shoots great photos, videos, everything. And it's got the stabilization that everybody's like losing their minds over. This camera had it already from 2017. So I don't really need that from the Sony a7S III. It doesn't really give me anything that I can't get from the Blackmagic. And the final reason is the price. Like, believe me, if I could shoot with a Sony a7S III, I probably would, because who wouldn't, right? But it's a $3,500 camera, which requires me to buy new lenses that can be as much as $2,000. Meanwhile, the Blackmagic for the body only is like $1,300, and I found it used with a lot of accessories as well, so it was even a better deal. And I'm able to use all my glass from the GH5 on my Blackmagic 4K, so with that initial price point, with all the accessories included, I can just go ahead and shoot already. I don't need to buy anything additional. And finally, we are at question number 3. Why did you get a Pocket 4K when you already have a GH5? It's a very valid question. This camera does most of the things that I needed to, but I suppose there are 3 main reasons why I decided to get a new camera or an additional camera to my GH5, because the Pocket 4K does not mean that I stop using the GH5. Reason number 1 is the faster editing speeds. So when you're making a lot of YouTube content like I am, shooting with the GH5 and then having to create proxy files on my computer, because my computer is not really fast. So I always create proxy files, which speeds up the editing, but having to create proxy files takes a lot of time and it's not perfect. Meanwhile, if I film in Blackmagic RAW, like right now, I can edit what I'm shooting right now on the hard drive that I'm recording to in a pinch. Like, it's just gonna be like that. So for me, using the Pocket 4K as my main sort of YouTube camera just speeds up my workflow by so much, and it's just very convenient for that. The second reason is quite simple. I needed an additional camera. I have a lot of client jobs coming up where I need more than one camera for different angles and stuff like that. So it just made sense for me to buy an additional camera. And also the jobs that I've gotten, you know, the pay is high enough that it justifies me budgeting for an additional camera. Simple as that. Blackmagic, the Pocket 4K is now my A camera and my GH5 is my B camera. Well, you know, depending on the situation. And then the third reason why I got the Pocket 4K when I already have a GH5 is that it's very easy to match these two cameras in post. And by that, I mean, you can have both cameras and 2 different camera angles, but the colors will be identical. They will be matched. Now, for most amateur, you know, video makers, it's not that important. But if you're making, let's say, a client job and they're paying you thousands of dollars to make a video, you need to make sure that the quality is up to par for their expectations. And to meet their expectations, you need to have the colors to be consistent. So currently I'm using a workflow that's called the ARRI Alexa conversion from emotivecolor.com. I've mentioned them before, and I love the colors that they deliver through my cameras. And the guy that makes them, Alex Mack, he's made them for both the Pocket 4K and the GH5. So because of that, I can match these two cameras super fast, super easy, with just a few clicks in DaVinci Resolve. Being able to match these two cameras was enough of a reason for me to get the Pocket 4K as my B camera. Alright, so I guess that sums up all the reasons why I got the Pocket 4K. That was 9 reasons, right? So yes, although this is a camera from 2018, it fits all my purposes perfectly. And I believe I'm going to be using this camera for many years to come. So I'm very happy with my purchase, and I'm just in love with the Blackmagic RAW. The editing workflow, as well as just the camera itself. It's a very fun camera to use, and I just can't wait to make more content about it and with it as well. That's it for this video. If you have any questions about the Blackmagic or even the GH5, pop them down below. I try to answer every comment, and I've been pretty good at it, I think. Finally, I want to thank you for watching the video to the end. I'm very happy to have you here, and if you subscribe and watch more of my videos, I'd be super happy. That's a great way to support the channel, to give back. I make content about how to make professional video, as well as the GH5 and the Blackmagic 4K going forward. I also do vlogs from just my life. You know, I'm in Iceland, so there might be some nice nature shots popping in every there now and then. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.